Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mystical Monday. It's me, Dr. Dawn. I am here to get you in alignment, to get your awareness increased, and to assist you intuitively on your journey. My name is Dr. Dawn. I am an intuitive guide and spiritual messenger. And again, I want to welcome you to Mystical Monday. And before we get started with today's message for the collective, we're going to get our mind, body, and spirit in alignment as we get ready to receive the information that Spirit would like to share with us today. So let's close our eyes and let's get ready. Here we go. Get into a comfortable position, either seated or laying down, wherever you like. And take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Another breath in. Exhale out. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Let's sit for a moment. Continue your mindful breathing, paying attention to your inhalations and exhalations. Allow the divine light of God, aka the divine, to circle all around you, forming a shield of strength. Feel and see the bright light of spirit all around you. Continue breathing in and out and allow this light to cover and strengthen you. Now we're going to allow this light to also come through our crown chakra. Visualize a line of light, a straight line that ascends from the crown of your head all the way up into the sky. Feel the connection between you and the divine. As this light continues to pour into us from the divine down into our crown chakra. As well as circling around us, we We have light all around us and above us. We are surrounded by divine light and love. Releasing all lower vibrational energies that are around us and within us, opening us up for all of the divine downloads that we will receive. Allow yourself to sit in this light. Breathing in and out as you sit in this light. Some of you may feel a rocking movement. That's perfectly fine. That is the penetration of the light all around you, causing your soul to react outwardly. We love this divine energy. Allow this light that is surrounding and circling you to slowly fade away. It'll get lighter and lighter, and you'll still have the divine light pouring into your crown chakra as you sit. As we allow the energy that was encircled around us to disappear, watch as the divine light pouring into your crown chakra now starts to slowly fade. As you continue to take deep breaths in and out. Feel the release. Releasing all heavy energy. Keeping all of the divine light within. As I count down, I want you to relax your body and your shoulders. And we'll open our eyes when I get to 1. 5, 4, 3, continue to relax, 2, and 1. Open your eyes. We did it. You guys should feel loose and free. And lighter. Okay. I hope that all of you are doing your own daily meditations to kind of get yourself ready and prepared for the day, or to unwind for the day, or to make it through the day. There is no rhyme or reason or specific time to meditate. Do it when you feel the need. Go wherever you need to go. If you're at work, go in your car real quick for a break, or go somewhere where you can sit with yourself and get yourself back in alignment, because you are one what big ball of energy that always needs to stay as close as possible to alignment so that you can function at your highest divine potential. Okay. All right. So today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the energy on the planet, as I do every week. Right now, I think all of us are realizing that we are in a time of great change. We've been going through a lot of change, and I know I sound repetitive when I talk about the change, but we're going to keep changing because we're going to keep evolving. And as we keep evolving and we keep facing these different types of changes, change is going to look differently as we move along. All right. And so right now, change for a lot of us is looking like facing uncertainty, meaning you're not knowing what's coming next and you're not able to prepare for what's coming next. And that is in all aspects of your life. It could be financially, you're having some issues. And in the past, you used to know how to rob from Peter to pay Paul, or how to make things kind of work, connect to be able to work. You can't do that now. With relationships, you used to be able to tell like how a person was going to respond or going to fit in your life. You're not doing that, not able to do that now, because everybody's going through some things. And so everybody's not acting or performing like they used to. So you can't kind of predict that. As it relates to your health, some of us are going through changes as it relates to frequency and energy that's penetrating the planet, where there are no medical answers to kind of figure out how to handle or to treat certain things. So that's causing uncertainty. And so we got uncertainty all the way around in every aspect of our life, because the planet is different now. And the answers that were readily available to us in different situations are not there now. Okay. And so now this uncertainty is causing people to be in a state of like flux, anxiety, nervousness, and just kind of like just reacting in a reactive state, be it like hostile, sad, confused, just emotions that are coming from this state of uncertainty. And I know this because I'm seeing this firsthand in my sessions. Everybody's so used to being able to control certain aspects of their life that they cannot control right now. And that's only going to get worse, because what is the energy penetrating the planet? The energy of learning to let go and get in the flow. And so one of the steps to being able to let go and get into the flow is to start facing this uncertainty for what it is, something you can no longer control, something you can no longer have a handle on, like what to do with. All right. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some ways to kind of face the uncertainty, as well as how to kind of be mindful in the process of what's going on while you're facing this uncertainty. The first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to realize that resistance doesn't help. Okay. What you resist will persist. And so we got to get into a state of acceptance. We got to start accepting that things are different now. We have to start accepting that we no longer can do or manipulate people or situations like we used to. That's key, that manipulation thing, because I'm watching people, because I have this eye of awareness. I'm watching people try to manipulate me as they used to in the past when I wasn't aware, and they can't do it now. And so because they can't do it, it's causing all types of abnormal reactions from them. So let me give you some, I like to give you guys examples to give you a point of reference so that you can use it in your life, in your situations. When you are the person that is usually the go-to, or the one that is always the doer, you're helping, you're fixing, you're solving, you're doing all of that, and you no longer do that. The people that you used to do that for, now that you're not doing it, it's going to send them in a place of flux. Okay, because now you've created uncertainty on their behalf because they no longer know what to do, say, or how to act to be able to get you to do like you previously were doing. Okay, and so you might be that person that used to go to someone else to assist you, like maybe just talk, give advice, borrow, or have them fix or help you solve problems, and they're just not responding to you anymore. And so now you don't know what to do because now they're aware. They're aware of the lack of boundaries that they had in this relationship and how they were giving more than receiving more. And so now you don't know what to do. You don't know how to respond. So you start having this anxiety, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because that was what I did for years. And I don't know how to fix this. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do next. Okay. And so you create this whole kind of sense of like urgency, anxiety, and all of these emotions and feelings. All right. So first you have to be aware, are you that person who is going to someone and they're not responding the way they used to, and so you're in a state of flux? Or are you the person that people come to and you're aware and you're no longer doing it, and you're pushing them at bay, and they're pushing against you, causing you to be in a little flux because they're throwing you off of your game? Which one are you? In either respect, in either situation, recognize where you are and which role you play. That will help you to respond accordingly. If you're the doer, the person who's always helping and doing and whatever, and people are now coming to you and you don't want to do it anymore, and you're stepping back, you're pushing back, you're not taking phone calls, you're not really texting, you're not initiating activity or interaction, you're not doing any of that, keep doing it. If it's serving your purpose, keep doing it. Okay. Do not allow the outside pressures from them to put you in a place where you are in a state of flux and make you feel uncertain, like you're not knowing what you're doing and why. If you're the person who leans on someone or has leaned on someone for advice, for like money, for assistance, for just whatever, and you're not getting it from them and you're getting upset and worried and in a state of uncertainty, guess what? Step back and look at what you need from them and why you need it from them and not from yourself. Okay. When you find that you're in a position where you're not getting the exchange that you used to from another person, look at what you were expecting from them, because whatever it is you were expecting from them, it is something you can get from within you, but you weren't looking or wanting to get into yourself to get it. Okay. So that's first. Okay. Do not resist. Start to be accepting of where you are and what's going on, and then start trying to make sense of what you're doing, like in this moment. Okay, we're gonna like break this this chain of facing uncertainty and not knowing what to do. Okay, next, I want you not to believe everything that you think. Okay, when you're dealing or facing uncertainty and not understanding or knowing what to do next based on the previous way that you used to do things and things used to occur, don't let your mind trick you, because your mind is going to go to all the bad scenarios. Okay. Same example. Let's go back to my beginning example of the person who, used to be the one to give, to do, to assist. That person on the other end who's trying to get the assistance is now going to go into a state of, oh, why they not answering my calls? Like, what I do? I didn't do nothing to them. Like, oh, I bet they mad because X, Y, Z. So your mind is getting ready to tell you all this stuff. Your mind is finna make up scenarios that aren't even real to justify why this person is no longer being that person that you need them to be, because they're working on themselves. Your mind is going to take you to another place to explain to you why that is. If you're the giver, the doer, the person on the end who usually is the doer, and that person that's coming and trying to get from you, like you know, they always do. Your mind is going to take you to the negative. It's going to make you think that this person is just trying to use you. This person is trying to do like they always do. They're going to give you the worst scenario, right? To get you all in a state of anger, in a state of flux, in a state of low vibrational kind of ways of being. And that's not it. That's not it. Remember, you're going to be in a place of understanding this person is just doing what they've always done. I'm just aware of it now. Okay. So now that I'm aware, I understand this is part of their growth and their process. No need for me to get upset. No need for me to get mad. Just let them go through their process. But your mind is never going to do that. Your mind will take you to the worst scenario. Your spirit will give you the best scenario. Okay, so your mind, AKA your ego, your mind is known as your ego mind. This human fleshly mind will always take you to the worst case scenario. That's why you always jump to fear in every situation, because your mind is programmed to do that. It's in survival mode. It's in fight or flight mode. It's in, let me give you the worst case scenario so you can get ready. It is programmed to do that. Understand that. So when you jump to these worst case scenarios, specifically in the example I gave you the counter example, which is your spirit self, which is not the worst case scenario. Your spirit self, AKA your higher self, AKA your energetic self back there, is always going to give you the highest possible scenario because it's wired like that. All right. So recognize when you're going through these uncertainty moments and you jump to the worst case scenario, recognize when you get in that worst case scenario, that is not your spirit. That is your mind, AKA your ego. Redirect yourself to your spirit, and it will keep you in a place of understanding, in a place of peace, and in a place of as I like to say it, yin and yang. That's what it is. It'll put you in that yin and yang kind of energy to bring you back in the flow. Oh, I'm wearing my black and white too for yin and yang. Didn't even realize it, but that's my whole wardrobe. Like I told you guys, my whole wardrobe black and white. So, and that's specifically to keep me in balance. I'm always balancing myself, you know, as you guys should, because you're dealing with two properties. You're dealing with mind and spirit. So you're always going to be doing this. And the goal is when you do that to try to get to this. All right. So when you do that, don't believe everything your mind thinks. It's very, very tricky. Very, very tricky. Okay. Next, I want you to start to pay attention. Pay attention. This is the third thing I want you to do when you're trying to face uncertainty. Pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to the emotions you're having. Pay attention to where the emotions are when you're having them. Let's stay with our same example. Let's say I'm the person who always is the doer and the giver and the one that people run to when assistance is needed. Okay. I am in my place of being. I am allowing them to do as they normally do because I can't change them. Right? I cannot change them. I can only change and work on me. So as I'm working on me, I am starting to pay attention to how I feel in this moment when these people keep trying to do their old habits, which for the most part, it's probably going to piss you off because now you're going to be in a state of awareness and you're going to realize all of this unnecessary energy that you were taking in. And so now that when people try to throw it back at you, again, you're going to start getting upset because you're going to be like, I don't want it. Leave it alone. Can't you tell? I'm like not responding. Like, don't you get the message? Like, but you're going to go to all of that. And so when you do that, get into your place of being and go, wait a minute, I'm getting upset. I'm getting worked up. Why am I feeling these emotions? This person is just going through their thing. I need to control what I can control, which is my emotions and how I respond, you know, and what I pay attention to. Okay, so it helps when you attend to where you are in that moment, because I'm telling you, you guys, when these things happen, when you're trying to break old patterns. When you're trying to break old conditions, you're going to keep reverting to how things were in the past. You're going to keep thinking about things that the person did in the past that got you to where you are here. And it's those thoughts that take you back and back to the past that are going to disrupt how you're feeling and responding here. So when this is happening in this exchange, okay, pay attention to you. What is your breathing like? I cannot impress upon you guys the importance of breathing and how you're breathing, because when your breathing is rapid, when it's discoordinated, when it is shallow, when it is fast or heavy, when it's up, your chakras are in a tailspin. That's your chakras giving you the heads up. We're out of alignment. We're out of alignment. Like regroup, reboot, rewind, go back, like take a deep breath in, out. When you go in and out and breathe, we're going to give you a new perspective. You'll see it, you'll feel it, but you got to take the breaths. You got to go through it. You got to be aware. So pay attention to like breathing when you have these moments and episodes, and the emotions that come with the breathing and where you feel the emotions. That's key. Every time I get ticked off, you guys, every time I get ticked off, I feel the emotion in the pit of my stomach, which is why I subsequently here and there have GI difficulties. I may have gas, diarrhea, reflux. All of my feelings and emotions are carried in the pit of my stomach. That's not true for everybody. My husband carries his in his shoulders. My mom used to carry hers in her lower back. Like everybody's goes somewhere differently in their body, okay? Which will correspond most times with which chakra is getting kind of out of whack as a result to what's happening. So you'll always probably hear me say, oh, I'm working on my solar plexus chakra. Or, oh, I'm always working on those lower 3 chakras, because that's where I carry a lot of my energy as it relates to things that are happening in my life. Become aware of where you're carrying the energy, you guys, because a lot of you are running around trying to meditate. You're trying to clear chakras. You don't know what the heck you're doing. You're just like, well, let me clear them all. Couldn't hurt to clear them all, right? Because, why not? But you clearing them all, you're right, cannot hurt. But if you're tuning in to which ones are like greatly affected based on what you're experiencing in your life, it can make your experience a lot more lighter, a lot more easier, a lot more clearer, a lot more doable. So pay attention when these emotions come, as to where you're feeling them and how you're breathing into them. Okay. All right. Next, the next thing I want you to do as we're going through this time of great change and you are feeling uncertainty, stop looking for someone to rescue you. I'm going to say that again. Stop looking for someone to rescue you. Okay. Let's see how to say this nicely. All right. So automatically, when we get in these states of uncertainty and we get all unraveled and we get out of balance and we feel as if we're anxious, or we feel as if we're depressed, or we feel like we're having mood swings, or we feel like all of this, nothing wrong with seeking help. All for it. Go to a therapist, get whatever you need, see energy healers, come to intuitive guides like myself, like do whatever you need to do. Get the help that you feel that you need or the assistance that you need. But understand, these beings are not going to rescue you. They're not going to change you. Me too, are not going to heal you. Understand that. We get so confused when we seek out assistance from these individuals that they're gonna like clear our energy. They're gonna like help us to be able to manifest. They're gonna make us feel happy. They're gonna clear our energy. They're gonna do this. There. You put all of your faith and your belief in someone else, an outside source, when that's never the case. It's always going to come from you. These individuals, including myself, are only helping to guide you towards your inner wisdom and your inner strength. That's all we're doing. But a lot of you come with the idea that you're going to be fixed. Depression, gonna be gone. like anxiety, cured, like all of that, because you're going to go get help from these people or seek assistance from these people. It don't work like that. It never works like that. I don't know, in our conditioning, we've been conditioned to feel that we can go to outside people to lay hands on us and heal us, or tell us, information that we need to hear that's going to inspire and anoint and heal us. Like, we've always put all of our power outside of us. But guess what? It has always been inside. It still is inside. And you now are tapping into it. Now, your inside is indicative of your outside. So if you're being guided to a particular person, absolutely seek that assistance, because your inner self is guiding you to where you need to go to get what you need to assist you in activating, healing, and moving towards clearing and advancing and creating, what you're trying to do within yourself. Okay. So when we look for people to save us, we put ourselves in a place of helplessness, as if we can't do it unless this other person steps in and helps us or shows us or does it for us. Do not allow yourself to be put in a place of helplessness, because guess what? You're already facing uncertainty, fear of the unknown. So now you're putting yourself in a place of helplessness. Like, okay, I don't know what's coming. Okay, I can't do what I need to do by myself. I need somebody else to do it. You're giving all of your power away, all of it. And you never, ever have to do that. Honestly, you don't have it to give away, because it's all yours, and you feel like you're getting assistance from the other person, but you're really not. It's really your inner power igniting. Okay, so when you look for someone else to rescue you, you not only face the uncertainty, but you add the element of powerlessness or feeling helpless. I see it all the time. That's why with my clients, what is my motto? I want to see you, but I don't want to see you every week. I don't even want to see you every month if we can help it. I want you to get guidance and assistance. Go do what you need to do with that guidance and assistance, okay? And when you get to a point of where you feel as if additional guidance as assistance is needed, then return back. But that won't happen in a week. You need to get out there and do some things and listen to your guidance. That's not the usual protocol that we follow, right? Our usual protocol is you need to come 2-3 times a week, every week, and maybe in some instances, this is relevant. Maybe it's a lot of people with mental health issues that need that once, twice, 3 times every week, all the time. But do it with the mindset of knowing that the person assisting you is not rescuing you. They're merely guiding you. That's all they're doing, is guiding you. Because that system back there, those circles, those portals are leading you to the assistance you need. When you get that assistance, those portals are activated. They are speaking to you within you, and they are helping you to have the tools and resources that you need. Not the human beings, not the human fleshly beings, because you are the spirit beings. And so your spirit is constantly guiding you to how to enhance and align and enlighten your spirit self. Okay. All right. Next, when we're facing uncertainty, guess what you got to do? Invest in yourself. We talked about this before. We talked about how we limit it sometimes to Self-Care Sunday, right? Okay, we know we got that one day down every week. but we got to add a little bit more to investing in ourselves. Investing in ourselves means we got to do some things that are going to move us from the third dimension to the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. So I heard a man on TikTok, I can't think of his name. He gave such a wonderful explanation of the difference between 3D, 4D, 5D. And I'm going to steal it. I wish I could give him his name, but it's the man on TikTok. That's all I can remember. Okay. So third dimension or 3D, he explained it way better and clearer than I have to you guys. The 3D is, what we're in now, what you see with your eyes in front of you, what you feel, touch, smell, hear, that's 3D. 4D would be equivalent to like dreaming. It would be equivalent to, if you're a Christian, talking to the Holy Spirit, or communicating and praying in that way. That's 4D. Okay. That spiritual realm right there. Okay. 5D would be where you get into a meditative state. Okay. Where you can receive divine guidance. You can receive instruction. You can receive directions on how to proceed in your life according to what you have requested and what is going on in 4D. Okay, so 5D is not prayer like 4D is. Let's clear that up. 5D is the connection that you make between yourself and the divine, okay? In that particular spiritual realm where you connect and boom, that portal gets connected and things start to move and you get the guidance, okay? The guidance that you need to get to where you're going. So let's use the example that we did in the beginning. We're going to stay with that same example with the person who, let's make it the person who is the person that's the doer, that's always helping, giving their energy and concern everywhere. And they're not doing it anymore. They put up a boundary, step back to let the other people have their life experiences, lessons with uninterrupted assistance from them. Okay, let's stick with that person. So in the 3D, that's what this person is doing. They're stepping back. They're allowing the other people to do what they do. They're like being very selective of the interactions that they have with certain people. And so this is their 3D scenario. In 4D, they are connecting to AKA spirit, or in the dream state of being, you could say, and they are saying, this is what I want my life to be like now. They're dreaming, imagining, praying, if you will, in this state of how they want their life to be. I want to have a life where it is full of abundance, where people come towards me who love me and celebrate me, who genuinely want to have the comfort of me and will offer an even exchange of energy. Okay, this is what they're doing in the 4D. They're praying, they're making their intentions known, they are making the connection or speaking to the divine spiritual realm, their spirit self, and that is the 4D. Okay, now in the 5D, they are now sitting with themselves, doing the meditation and energy kind of work to open themselves up to that divine connection within, from themselves to the source, AKA God, and receiving the downloads that are directing them towards how to get what they've asked for. So based on what this is an example, based on what this person has asked for, to be connected with a group of people who will give an even exchange of energy, who will celebrate and be happy to be around them and not just look at them, as something that they can benefit from. This is what they put out there. They have received the divine connection. The divine connection and guidance may now lead them to a direction of a change of a career, or it may lead them to the direction of joining or signing up for a particular class. It may lead them in the direction of starting some kind of club. They may receive these downloads, and downloads, remember, are inspired events of or instances of wisdom or information, you know, that you get out of the blue. You're getting the guidance now in 5D, how to pursue that. Do you see how this works? So when we do this, we start to invest in ourselves. And when you invest in yourselves, you can move through 3D, 4D, 5D. Remember, you don't go anywhere to change dimensions. Don't ever think you physically go anywhere to change the dimensions. As I've told you guys before, you could be sitting next to two people. You're in the fifth, they're in the fourth, somebody's in the fourth, somebody's in the third. Okay, you can be in 3 different frequencies and sitting right next to each other. So it's nothing to do with where you are physically. It has to do everything with where you are in your frequency, where you're tuned into, what station you're listening to, if you will. If you have a radio station and you're at different frequencies, that person's at 98.5, you're at 98.7, they're at 98.9. You can't hear the same things because you're on different channels, right? So that's all this is, different frequencies. You're at different places of being and experiences based on your frequency. Okay, so when you start to invest in yourself, doing these feelings of uncertainty, you start to learn, or you start to, not learn, I shouldn't say learn, you experience the shift from 3rd to 4th to 5th. Because you start investing in yourself and becoming aware of your spirit self first, your human self second. So then this uncertainty, you see why you got to go through this uncertainty, right? Because we said we're going through a time of great change. You can't go through the time of great change without having the uncertainty, because the uncertainty is going to push you in some directions that are going to help you evolve. So we love this uncertainty. That's why we are directed, if you will, to follow or go with the flow of what is happening, because you're flowing into your 5D self. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to do to get us through the uncertainty, we're going to find the meaning in all of the confusion and the chaos and the uncertainty, because there's always a meaning, you guys. Nothing down here can happen without a meaning and a purpose. It has to have a meaning and a purpose, because that's what the heck you're here for. You're here to evolve. And how do you evolve? Through obstacles, literally. Like, kind of, you can say obstacles are opportunities for you to grow. Okay, that's what they are. Obstacles are just opportunities for you to grow. It's the only way the spirit can get your attention and get you aware of what is trying to be shown to you, is sometimes by giving you the obstacles so you can grow through them. Okay, so let's find the meaning in the confusion. So I'm going to give you a different example for this one. I'm going to move away a little bit, because I want it to be drastic, because so many times people think things are so bad in their lives, or that things are going downhill, or, you know, it's just the worst time in their lives. And it's absolutely not. You have to, during these feelings and when you're facing uncertainty, you need to find the meaning in the confusion and difficulties. So for example, let's say you have a medical diagnosis that does not look good. Okay. And you go, oh my goodness, why me? Like, I have done everything that I can do to be of service to others. You know, I feel like, you know, I've taken good care of myself. Like, why is this happening to me? And you're just in the why me stage, and you're starting to get into misery. Because remember what we said our mind will do. Our minds are going to take you to the worst case scenario. That's what they're programmed to do. So they're telling you, oh, you could, your mind is telling you, oh, you could die. Oh, you know, remember that time when you said this to so-and-so, or remember that, like, your mind gonna give you all these reasons why you are not doing well and why you might not be doing well in the future, because that's what it does. So when you're going through this and you're going, I know it's a lesson in here. I know it's a meaning, but I don't know what it is. I can't get it. What is it, Spirit? Show me, tell me. And you can't figure it out. You can't get it. You don't know. And then all of a sudden you go to yourself, okay, well, what's the worst case scenario? Something happens and I'm not going to be here. What is it that I wanted to do that I never did get to do? Oh, I always wanted to go to the Bahamas. Let me go to the Bahamas because tomorrow's not promised. Ain't that what we do when we think we might leave here? You start saying tomorrow's not promised. So you start doing all this stuff you should have did or shoulda, coulda did, but you never did because you kept saying you're going to get around to it. So you say, let me go to the Bahamas. And you go to the Bahamas and you try to have a good time. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, this might be my last trip, but I'm going to try to have fun and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you go to the Bahamas. It was okay, but it wasn't great because in the back of your head, you were still thinking about it. You come back, okay? You're still trying to figure out why me, why me, why me? Well, Spirit and your spirit team are going, oh, she went to the Bahamas. We can check that off the list because that was something that she came here to do. We told her we was going to give it to her. We have been trying to open the portal to align her to go, but she's been refusing and she's been, resisting. And so we got that out the way. Check, check, and check. Let me tell you something. I want y'all to know something. When you set something in motion to the universe, when you tell the universe what you want, it goes in motion to get it to you. Okay. I saw this firsthand with my mom leading up to her death. We didn't know she was dying until the last minute. But let me tell you all of the things that happened prior to her dying. She was able to go on the trip that she always wanted to go to. We went to LA. She always wanted to go to Los Angeles, to Universal Studios. We went there. Now, we didn't know she was dying. We know she was sick. We know none of that. Just did it because something in me said it's time to take her. Okay. She went on this wonderful trip with all of her best friends to Vegas. Wonderful trip, out of the blue, just did it. We also went to another trip she wanted to go to. She always wanted to go to French Lick, Indiana, to this resort. We were going to all these places she always wanted to go to, not knowing she was terminal and she was dying or even sick. The universe had all these stored things that she asked for that had to get to her before she left here. And we're sending it out. They were sending it out one by one by one by one. We just had no knowledge of what was happening. Okay. And so she literally got her checklist done before she left and didn't know it, like kind of inadvertently did not realize it because she was, kind of wrapped up in, the excitement of doing the stuff. And then when she got sick, no thought of reflection in terms of everything that had just happened just a couple of years prior to that. Every year leading up to her dying, we went on a trip, literally. She was traveling. And so as she got to the afterlife, I'm so positive she looked at that life review and she saw like, oh my God, like the universe gave me everything I wanted. Like she wanted grandchildren. She got that, not from me, of course, but from my brother. She wanted these trips. She got the trip. She got everything that she asked for. My mother was never one to ask for money. She didn't care about wealth or anything like that. Like that was not her thing. So that wasn't on her list, but everything she asked for, she got. And so when I tell you, sometimes the meaning in the confusion is to get, sometimes it's confusion to get you to have, receive, or do what you've asked for, but couldn't get it to you no other way. Because when you ask, you guys, when you ask, step back and be ready to receive. Now, some of you are going, no, wait a minute now. That theory can't be altogether right because I know some people who passed away who said that they wanted X to Y to Z and they didn't get it. Well, look, we don't know what those people, what their experience and journey entailed. Case in point, I had an aunt who said she was going to be a millionaire before she left. She said, God said, I'm going to be a millionaire before I die. Okay. She kept saying, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm going to be a millionaire. Listen to this. So my aunt, as she was getting sick, she started getting mad at God because she knew she was getting sick and she knew it was getting close to leaving. And she was not a millionaire. She didn't get the million. So she was getting madder and madder. Like, okay, where's the money? Like, where's it at? You said, you promised, like it's not here. as my aunt got closer to dying, this is what she said. She said, you know what? Maybe I didn't hear God right. Maybe the wealth that he promised me, the millions, maybe I interpret it as myself. Maybe the millions was on my family for generations to come. She said, and I made it about me. Maybe it was a generational thing. So then she started doubting. And so then my auntie was a very spiritual woman, very, very spiritual. Then she started going, well, wait a minute. I asked for millions. She said, but I asked for wealth. She said, wealth. She said, wealth comes in many forms. Wealth comes in money, comes in health, comes in love, comes in whatever, and my auntie was saying, now, wait a minute, I've experienced all those other things. I just haven't had the wealth like I thought, which is all the dollars in the bank account. She started really analyzing this thing now. And she goes, but I've never went without. I've always had what I needed. I've always traveled where I want to go. She did. Africa, everywhere. She went everywhere she wanted to go. She said, I've always had people who loved me. She said, I guess I have. And I was wealthy. So she told me, she said, if you're going to ask for millions, she said, be clear without a shadow of a doubt. So there's no room for misinterpretation as to what your request is, because you will get it. And so when my auntie told me that, it stuck in my head. Didn't make sense to me then, but now where I am in my journey makes a lot of sense. And what I've seen now that I can see with this eye, okay? And so I want you guys to understand the meaning in the confusion is sometimes to get you to something that you've asked for, that the universe can't deliver. This example I gave you right here was money. In my mom's case, it was trips. For some of you, it's a relationship. Let's take that same example of the person who got sick. You might have to get sick to get to the person that is going to be the love of your life. You may get sick because you may encounter someone that's going to take care of you and be like that child you never had. You may get sick, or child you never had but wanted. You see, there's always some meaning in this confusion. There's always some meaning in this chaos. And in a lot of instances, it is to get you what the universe has promised you could have. So don't always look at it as chaos, confusion, bad. What did I do? Oh my goodness, blah, blah. Don't do that. Remember what we said. Get into your place. Get into your place. Breathe. Feel where that emotion hits. Feel where it hits. Pay attention to it. Don't let your mind, don't believe what you think, because what you think is going to always take you to the wrong scenario. Don't resist what's happening. Don't resist. Accept it and get into whatever is happening in that moment. Okay? And then don't look for someone else to rescue you. This is your experience. This is your lesson. Let me not use lesson. Lesson is, I don't like the word lesson. This is your experience. This is your life and your journey. And I say, I don't like to say lesson because lesson implies like it's a bad thing, like learn your lesson. That's how we interpret it. And I don't want you to interpret it like that. But this is your thing. This is your thing. So it gets to be really individualized and really personal as you evolve. You're going to get to a point where there's nothing any other human can do for you, because your journey is your journey. And how you feel, react, respond, and the outcome is all dependent on you and your response, energetically, frequency, emotionally, soul, awareness. All of that is all you. Nobody else can do all that for you. So when you get to that point where you feel all alone, because you will get there, you probably are there now. I mean, a lot of us are. I go in and out of that. I actually, the young lady who assists me with my social media asked me very clearly last week. She said, Dawn, do you have a circle? She says, because I always wonder about you, because so many people come to you for guidance and assistance. Who do you go to? Who do you have? And I said, well, my husband is my soulmate, without a doubt. We've had many incarnations together, and we know this. My go-to people have all died. My mother, my grandmother, my aunt, all of my go-tos have died, but it was set up that way. They had to all be removed and out of the way for me to wake up and step into what I'm doing and to come into my purpose. So I am aware of the time that I had with them, what they had as it relate, or what they shared and imprinted in me as it relates to my life and their purpose, and what effect their lives had on mine, and the soul contract and agreement that we had for me to be and move into where I am now. So my connection, my soul connection, is directly with source or spirit or God, the direct connection, because guess what? You're wired. In the beginning, when we did that meditation, where I said that line of light going from your crown chakra to source, to God, it never leaves. It's there. That cord never leaves. When you come out your mother's portal, the umbilical cord is cut so that you can have your human experience. And once you come into this human body, your God cord, AKA your source cord, never gets cut until you die. So you are directly connected to the source at all times. You honestly don't need another human. You need a human to procreate. You need two different ones to procreate. You do. But in terms of feeling connected and loved and aware of who you are, the source is all you're going to need. And you're going to keep evolving till you get to that point. Okay, don't get me wrong. Human connection is great. We need that sometimes, but don't become dependent on it like you need it or your life depends on it, because it doesn't. You can have it how you want it and when you want it. And that's the point we're getting to. We've been in a point of feeling obligated to be around certain people and do certain things and go certain places and perform a certain way and be a certain. That was our conditioning. But we're now getting into a place where we're not feeling that obligation. We're literally moving towards like minds, like spirits, and like souls. And if you're not in that likeness, then we literally are pushing these individuals out of our energy field because they're not in alignment. Okay? So understand all of this is to let you know that when you're feeling uncertain, okay, you're never alone. As I always tell you guys, you always just remember, I'm just going through my experience. Okay. Always know we never have to listen to just our mind, because it's going to give you the wrong scenario for survival and safety. We always know that our inner self, AKA our soul spirit, will always give us the uplifting, positive, and right scenario. It will, and it will always guide us to where we're trying to go. Now, let me clarify one thing. When I said not to believe everything you think and that your ego will give you the worst case scenario, okay? In some instances, let's say the worst case scenario is true. Let's take that scenario that I used with the person who got really ill. So let's say the worst case scenario is they're going to die. Do you realize that doesn't exist until it happens? And when I say that, I mean, we literally can start energetically moving ourselves towards that worst case scenario. So that's why we always say, stay in a place of like positive energy or higher vibrational energy, because you're literally controlling a lot of these actions and movements. And so I want you to be mindful of that too. When your mind takes you to the worst case scenario, it plants the seed for the energetic movement that could happen as a result of it. So when you get into those worst case scenarios, when you're in situations of uncertainty, don't stay in that worst case scenario for long. Pull yourself to the best case scenario immediately and move that energy out of there. Okay? Because the more you guys understand the power of your energy, the more you're going to understand your ability to manifest and create. Okay, that's going to come. That's coming in the process of all of this evolution. You're manifesting and creating you, a new life, a new way of being. You're contributing to the frequency of the planet so that we all are evolving and creating new lives and new ways of being. And we're all kind of working together doing it. Okay. So I hope that this has helped you guys get a little bit more awareness and understanding of this time of great change that we're going through right now. Some ways to deal with it by seeing things from a different perspective, because that's what this is down here. Everything is about perspective, being more aware of why and how things are happening. That's what's going to move us forward. Okay, be open through this process, you guys, to learning new things and on being happy. That's your biggest focus right now, is to be happy. Okay, don't hold on to beliefs that are going to hold you back. Let them go. It's time for a new way of thinking. It's time for a new way of doing. It's time for a new way of being. Okay, so let's keep this at the forefront now. All right, and let's get into our spirit selves, our soul selves, and start navigating and living this life from that place of being. Okay, if you guys are interested in one-on-one sessions, you can visit my website at www.discoveringyourinnerlight. Click on spiritual coaching or intuitive guidance sessions. I would love to see you one-on-one. If you are not comfortable because you're not familiar of in terms of what these sessions will consist of, join me on Thursday nights at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram Live. At Discovering Your Inner Light. I do live coaching sessions on Thursdays. I absolutely have been loving them the past 2 weeks. I would love to get more people to be signed on so we can have more people to volunteer. I want to help as many people as I can, but you guys got to show up. And that's Thursdays at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram Live. I will also, if you are in the Louisville, Kentucky area, Saturday, October 8th from 6 to 8, I'm going to be at the Marriott doing a live session on healing and awakening and just all of this good stuff. It's going to be a great time. If you are interested in tickets, I want you guys to go to eventbrite.com and get yourself some tickets. If you follow me, or if you follow me on Instagram, go to my Linktree. I think my Linktree is also on YouTube. You can go to Linktree and click on the Linktree and it'll take you right to the get the tickets button, and you can get tickets and it will be great. I would love to see you there. Seating is limited. I want it to be small and intimate. I think I'm going to have about 60 people. So get your tickets because I got a few left, So looking forward to that. Okay. And so I hope this has helped you guys tonight. I love to hear from you, your comments, your questions. Please leave them in the comment section down below. If you're watching the replay, make sure you comment, tell me something so I know you guys are living, breathing, and watching. And please, if you enjoyed this video or it assisted you in any way, please like the video, you guys. Like the video and subscribe and share. Okay. All right, you guys have a good night. It has been a pleasure. Until next Monday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next time for Mystical Monday. This is Dr. Dawn, and good night.